audience. Anyway, welcome to another video. So then, Naga Ben. Yeah, aka Emo Ben 10. It's a Ben 10 what if. You saw this coming. I haven't done one in like months. You should have predicted that this would come to fruition. But yeah, being all like Looney Tunes aside, Looney Toony, aside, this video is probably gonna only come out after the week. Like, after the. You know what? Nah. I'll upload it now since it technically isn't the themed week yet. Yeah, that's next week. Yeah. Remember, next Monday is the themed week. Leave all your comments and suggestions down under in the video whilst you can. You only have until the end of the week before it begins. So, yeah. Then you pretty much would have lost the opportunity. I think. If I'm being honest, I'll probably, look through comments during the week still. But just leave the comment for your ideas. Anyway, yes, Nagaben. Let's get into the what if. Hasashi and Inko would be massive fans of America and American culture, which is why they decided to give their child one of the most generic American names, Benjamin, and/or Ben for short. Benjamin Midoriya. Doesn't quite roll off the tongue, but it's his name. Anyway, around about the time Deku's 4, and he doesn't get his quirk, that's when shit hits the fan. In fact, it's the entire reason why he'll be somewhat emo. So, yes. He would get bullied and entirely forgotten about. Hell, his parents would even keep on trying for a new child. They would eventually get their new child, aka Azumi, and while shit's just really going down the toilet, as you could say. For, well, Deku, it gets even worse when he's about 6 and he gets left on the side of the road. And, well, his old family would move away from their old home, stranding him, and not even bothering to put him in an orphanage. So he would be lost out in the woods, having been chased out there by a set of muggers. He would eventually find a purple and gray device glowing in the darkness. Fascinated by it, he would put it on. Well, he would reach his hand out to put it on before it would quickly jump out and wrap itself around his arm. And, well, the machine would state, "New host found. Calibrating. Calibration complete." As it would change into a more stylish and fitting version of itself for, well, Deku's personality, and it's just in general looks better on him. Like, this is Omniverse type watch. And as the years would go by, he would continue to fiddle with it and trying to understand it. He would eventually discover master control and, well, quite ironically, master it. But as the years go by, he would quite frequently go on genocidal rampages, deciding they didn't care about him, why should he care about them? So, yes, this version of Deku is quite mentally not right, but he would still, of course, want to go to UA. Being a hero is a dream that he's had since a child, and some aspects of that dream still remain, even though he tells himself that it's just for the training. Anyway, he's made quite the reputation for himself. Give me a moment. Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, yes. Blah. Sorry, a bit of a burp. Anyway, yes, Deku would make a reputation for himself. As well, the Faceless. Both because it's edgy and it fits. Yeah. I mean, it fits. His entire shtick is that he can transform into an absurd amount of crimes against nature at will. And, well, he would build up such a reputation that even heroes like All Might are concerned and tend to stay away from him. Now, the reason for this is what he did to a certain hero, which I will be naming Excalibur. He turned into Nanomech, flew inside his ear, and then turned into Waybig, essentially making him expand to the point where he just splattered everywhere, and the bottom half of his body was crushed under the weight. So yes, he is quite literally a bit of a psycho killer. And since he can turn into a microscopic little mite that can basically fly anywhere, and he can just climb inside of you, then turn into something the size of a building, you can understand why All Might would try and steer clear away from him, at least until he finds his successor. He doesn't want to die with one fold, after all. So yes. So then, the UA entrance exam. You do well on the Rin exam, enough to pass on that. Not really bothering to put that much effort, just enough so he can pass. And then he goes to the physical exam. Yeah. No one really pays him any mind because he tries and keeps his face and average body not really that noticed. It's not like anyone knows who he is. They just know that the Faceless, well, is a shapeshifter. Give me a moment. Sorry about that, cats. But yes, once the exam starts, Deku would be the first one out and ahead, turning into, well, accelerate, moving fast enough to get past the doors before anyone notices. President Mike feels a twinge of proudness as he proceeds to say the classic, "Go! Real heroes doesn't wait for an alarm. Go, go, go!" For a countdown, I mean. Okay. So he would turn into he's using aliens that he has not used outside of, ones that he has not used in his criminal activities, meaning no one really has a record on them. And, they usually don't have a record on him either way, because he typically destroys any security cam footage, at least that he can get his hands on. But he would turn into Humongosaur and begin throttling robots around, bashing them down. Give me a moment. Sorry, my cat Patchy seems to be really content into getting into my cupboard and lying on top of my old backpack. Emphasis on old. Anyway, yes. So then, he would turn into Humongosaur and begin throttling the robots around, bashing them into each other as if they were clubs, crushing others, and ripping certain ones to shreds. As the 0 pointer would come out, he's like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out," before he hears a scream for help, and then just is like, "Okay, yeah, save her. It's the most tactical thing. You'll have someone on your side who's like, in case they begin suspecting you, who's like, it's no way it could be him. I mean, he saved me from getting crushed." He would turn into Accelerate, speed over, and turn into Armadillo, lifting up the piece of rubble before picking her up, turning back in to accelerate and running out of there, saving her. Well, he would quickly walk away to, well, the place he lives, which is an apartment building. As he would enter the place, he would be walking through the halls stained with blood. He would go to his door, take out one of the many keys he has, and look through it before he would look over across the hall and say, "Sandra, do you have my door key?" "Oh, wait, oh yeah, I forgot I stuffed you alive." "Sorry." "Oh, looks like you finally kicked the bucket." "Hey, no harm, no foul, am I right?" It would say, lifting a fist to the, well, stuffed body, expecting a, fist bump, but it doesn't because it's a stuffed corpse. "Oh, you're just gonna leave me hanging, huh? Okay." It'd say before taking his door key off the counter and, going to his door and opening it, revealing his okay-ish room. It's nothing special. He would wait for the UA entrance exam acceptance letter, and, well, he would get it. Class 1A. A little bit of a sick smile would appear on his face. A sick and twisted smile. As he would get all giddy. The first day of UA, Deku is quite nice to everyone. He's very polite, and he's kind, and in general, a nice guy. And, well, everything would go as normal in the UA, in the Aizawa exam, as I'm calling it. Man, I should rewatch the first season of MHA. You know what, I'm gonna put a poll up on that. Yeah, once I post this video, I'm gonna put up a poll. Yeah. I'm trying to be more interactive with everyone, as you could say. Anyway, so yes. The heroes vs. villains. Deku turns into, well, Big Chill. Well, no, not Big Chill. How about Accelerate? As he would be readying, and Aizawa would say go, he would quickly sprint into the building, search every room, and by the time he finds the bomb room, he would quickly sprint and touch it. Remember, Accelerate is so incredibly fast that time slows for him. Yeah, he could do that, definitely. Anyway, yes. So then, after that, Deku would be prowling the streets of the night in the form of, how about Swamp Fire? No, Heat Blast. That thing is... How have I never noticed this? How have we never noticed this? Anyway, he would be prowling the night in the form of, well, Heat Blast. As Endeavor would come swooping in and grab him and push him to the floor, saying into a little communicator device, "I got him, the ambush worked." Deku would turn his head and look at him before giggling in a creepy fashion. "Oh, I like that," he would say, conjuring a fireball and point-blank flamethrower in Endeavor's face. He knows this won't do much, but it'll make him hotter. Endeavor's primary weakness is overheating, Because once he gets too hot, he can't use his quirk. Then it's as simple as a diamond head stab to the head. As it would launch Endeavor off of him, Deku jumping up and beginning to fly upwards, knowing that Endeavor can do the same. Endeavor would quickly launch himself at Deku, Deku dodging just in the nick of time. He wants to get Endeavor to use his quirk as much as possible. As the two flaming psychos would collide, they would clash in a visible display above the city, everyone just seeing streaks of fire being launched everywhere. Deku would approach Endeavor from the bottom and emit a flamethrower that would make Dobby proud in just the sheer amount of fire. Endeavor would counter by flying to the side and then charging at Deku, grabbing him and, well, emitting blue flames at him. Concentrating its fire enough for that. Deku would just say, "Oh, you're just making me stronger. How kind." He would say, kicking Endeavor and firing out a concentrated stream of fire equivalent to a heat ray, sending Endeavor off and heating him up so much that he's actually beginning to burn a bit. He would say Deku would take this opportunity and fly at Endeavor, grabbing him by the neck, as he would go behind him, wrap both of his arms around Endeavor, and hit his Omnitrix on his chest against Endeavor's back, turning him into Diamond Head as he would cut off both of Endeavor's arms and stab him through the head. As Deku would be falling down to the ground, he would quickly be showered by Endeavor's blood, as Endeavor's dead body would fall on Deku's back, getting impaled by the two spikes on the back of Diamond Head. Give me a moment. Endeavor's body would go limp, as blood would start to flow from it. Deku would get up, rip off Endeavor's body, throw it to the side, and quickly make his exit. Anyway, that's all the inspiration I have for this What If. Apologies if you wanted it to be longer. That's all I have. And, well, if y'all want me to watch Season 1 of MHA on a live stream, tell me through the poll that I'm going to put up. Anyway, goodbye, my lovely, lovely audience, and bye-bye.